Pretzel with my Raw review for the night. I'm being joined by my associate back here, Missy. She's a really nice cat. So let's jump into the show here. We start the show off with a Nexus promo. And this opening promo to Raw was probably one of the most boring promos I've seen in a long time. So basically Barrett comes out and says, even though we lost, we're Nexus and we're stronger than ever. Blah, the usual thing when a losing person wins, they keep the fight going, that kind of thing. Then Cena interrupts him and, he's like, you guys lost, you guys, are weak and blah, blah, blah. And proceeds to insult the rest of them. I don't know, he has a little name for everybody. I only wrote down a couple of them, like he called Tarver like a bank robber who's a male stripper. Something corny like that. And then one thing that was kind of funny, he called Heath Slater, like he called him a like the Wendy's mascot or something. Like, I really don't understand, I don't know where he got that one from, but it was kind of funny. But yeah, the rest of it was pretty, whole promo was blah. And then Michael Cole, interrupts with his little GM noise, excuse me, I have an email. Well, good for you, Cole. Why doesn't he just get up and say, excuse me, I have to check my email or something? He always, makes it, surprising. He's like, I have an email. He's, amazed that someone actually emails him. Whoever it is, that probably doesn't have a life. I wouldn't email this sucker. So, whatever. So, basically, the anonymous GM, who I still think is Michael Cole, he says that tonight, all the Nexus guys will face members of Team Raw from last night. And, Wade Barrett, ups the ante and says that if the guys don't win their matches, then they're gonna get exiled from Nexus. So, but then Otunga says, well, that also includes you. You could get exiled too. So, yeah, that's basically the theme for the night. This whole theme of the show was, you're either Nexus or you're not gonna be interested in this show, because the whole show was literally Nexus, which I didn't mind. Yeah, opening promo on a 1 to 5 scale, 5 being filet mignon, 4 being grilled chicken, 3 being an apple, 2 being Brussels sprouts, and 1 being blue cheese, which I detest blue cheese. I give this a blue cheese. I thought this promo was too long and should have been shortened. Alright, so let's go to our first matchup, though. We had Chris Jericho versus Wade Barrett. And I give this match a grilled chicken. I thought this match was very, very good. And it was back and forth, A lot of good moves in this matchup. Jericho hit his springboard dropkick to Barrett to the outside. Jericho had the upper hand, and then Barrett hit him with a boot to the face and knocked Jericho off the top rope to the floor. And then later Jericho would fight back with a missile dropkick for 2. And then he would get the walls of Jericho on Barrett, but Barrett would get to the ropes. And then he tried a code breaker, and then Barrett caught him and held him up and put him up on his shoulders and hit him with his finisher and pinned him for 3. They really don't have a name for his finisher, but if they were going to call it one, I would call it Severed Connection, because the whole Nexus means connection. I'd call it Severed Connection. So, Wade Barrett wins and thus keeps his spot in Nexus. So, it was a good match. I liked it. Next segment we have the Hollywood guest hosts. I don't know, it was Justin Long and a couple other guys for some movie. And nothing I'm really interested in. And then they come out and they're like, hi, hello, hi, hello, hey, hi, ho. A bunch of stupid shit. It was they did this for about 10 seconds and I was just skip. I skipped it. It was stupid. So then we had the Unified Tag Team Champions, the Hurt Dynasty, come out and shake their hands. I would have slapped them in the face if I was them. But anyway, they come out and shake their hands, and basically the anonymous GM again, interrupts, and Michael Cole's like, I have an email, again, because who the hell wants to email this guy? But whatever. He says that let me see, I wrote it down here. He says that the Unified Tag Team Championships will now be called WWE Tag Team Championships. Wow, what a huge name change that was. And then they give him the new belts as Bret Hart, which is supposed to be this big honor thing, and then Barrett interrupts and says, your opponent tonight will be Justin Gabriel. And then Gabriel basically brags about how he wants to give Bret a 450 splash, which would have been cool to see, but didn't happen. I give this segment a 1. just because the Hollywood guest host thing was stupid. I don't know. Next, we had Michael Tarver versus Daniel Bryan. This match was kind of a little too short. Should have gone longer, but for the spots we got, it was all right. I gave it a 3. I liked Bryan's arm breaker move to Tarver, and Bryan does like this awesome nice missile drop kick, and then he's got the upper hand, and then Miz and his NXT rookie, I think his name's Alex Riley, they show up to. They come out, look at me, or whatever, and then obviously Bryan's looking at him, and then Tarver rolls him up for a 3 count. So the match was kind of a little disappointing, a little too short for me. But the thing afterwards was pretty sweet though, because Bryan suicide dives to the rope, and on the Miz, starts wailing on him, and then Riley and Tarver actually pull him off, and they kind of beat him a little bit, kind of a little bit of a weak beating, but they kind of hold him, and then Miz winds up spearing him. And then hits the skull-crushing finale on him, but got a briefcase. So that was pretty sweet. So I give the segment a 3. The match was a little disappointing, but the beatdown was pretty cool afterwards. Next, we got Miz and Riley backstage, and Josh Matthews can you explain your actions? And then Miz is looks at him really? Do I have to explain them? And then he basically brags about how Bryan was, something special over him or something. I guess, a lot of people, whoever they are, hopefully not the TNA Abyss they or whatever, but I guess people allegedly saying that Miz should be Bryan's pro or something, and I don't know. Basically the whole storyline thing between Miz and Bryan. That's why he did it, and then Riley's yeah, I've always liked Miz, and, I'm a real man, and you're not Bryan, that kind of thing. I don't know. It's a good promo. I gave it a 4. 4 being grilled chicken. Let's see, next we got Justin Gabriel in the ring. Allegedly, the WWE Universe thinks it's going to happen, but all of us know it's not going to happen because Bret Hart doesn't wrestle. I don't know why they book him to wrestle when he doesn't wrestle, Does it really elevate him to wrestle when he doesn't wrestle? I don't know. So Cole interrupts with another email and says that Bret Hart the GM does not want Bret Hart to wrestle and doesn't like Bret Hart and blah, blah, blah. And says that he's got a replacement for him. And then Randy Orton comes out. And then I like Justin Gabriel because, he doesn't even look intimidated at him. He's just whatever, bring it on, Gabriel's probably my favorite guy in NXT next to Wade Barrett. I like both those guys a lot. But, so basically this is a squash match for Orton. Gabriel kicks him in the leg a few times, not showing any intimidation, and then Orton just kind of stares at him, laughs a little bit, stares at him, laughs a little bit. Gabriel goes to kick him again, and then Orton, grabs his boot for a while, and then clotheslines him down. Then he hits his power slam. It's not a scoop slam. Why does Cole call it a scoop slam? A scoop slam is when you pick the guy up and slam him to the mat. That's a scoop slam. A power slam is when the guy's coming at you and you use your power to slam him real fast. That is a power slam. It's not a scoop slam. Anyway, so he hits a power slam, and then he hits his second turnbuckle or second rope DDT. Dominating Gabriel. Then Sheamus comes out, and this is hilarious because normally when another wrestler gets involved in another wrestler's match, it's a disqualification. I even wrote it down, disqualification. This wasn't a disqualification. It was a count-out victory for Gabriel. For whatever, even though Sheamus did punch Orton, it was still not a disqualification. It didn't make any sense. So, Gabriel wins by a count-out. Basically, Orton's just beating up Sheamus. I should have said Sheamus interfered. but Sheamus, interferes, and Orton gets counted out because he's fighting him for a while.